All right, welcome to your radio station here. It's Mr. Toutge. We're going to do some radio station training in case you did not go through it the other day. So what we have here, we have 4 microphones. This one is microphone number 2, microphone number 3, microphone number 4, and microphone number 5. Number 2 through 5 here have their own input on this box. So each headphone is plugged into its respective microphone. So microphone 2 is actually going into number 1. Number 2 is going into, or I'm sorry, number 3 is going into 2, number 4, and number 5. So take a look at that. You don't ever want to unplug this one because this is actually feeding all the sound to the headphones. So when you bring in your live person that you're going to do the live interview with, most likely they are going to adjust number 1 here. Okay, so that one's plugged into microphone number 2 here on the end. The reason I say that to use this one is because microphone 2 has a clear shot of you on the other side of that computer. So you're going to be able to carry on a better conversation with them if you're actually able to see them. All right, so coming around to the other side. We have 4 computers here, and it's not very scary, but so I'm going to go through each one of these really quick with you so that you can take a look at this anytime you want. This first computer is GarageBand. This is how you're going to record your radio shows, and it's set up exactly like the other 2 recording rooms where you set up your record, you take off your metronome. Make sure you take that off and then go to new track. You want to go select track, new track, and you're going to select real instrument and you're going to hit create. Okay, so I've already done that. If I turn my microphone on, you can see that we are getting signal right there. You can see that the VU meters are moving back and forth. You do want them to be reaching up to that white ball. If they are reaching up this far, you will have to do your whole entire radio show again. So make sure that your levels are looking like this. Make sure that they don't go in the red like they are right now. You want them at reaching up to that white ball. So let's move this up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want them peaking up at that point. Okay, so down here where you cannot see them, bad. Up here, that's pretty good. Good. All right, sweet. Now the next thing, you want to have the monitor focus. There we go. We want to have the monitor off. Keep that in the off position, otherwise you're going to have feedback. When you do record let's say we do record something here really quick. I'll just talk into the microphone. Hit record. And we're going to hit record down here. There's a little red record button. Red means record. So we're going to hit that. We are recording, and I've got my microphone up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to hit pause. So I'm going to hit pause. Also, another thing here too, we are right here, if you look right here, where the time code signature is, it's hard to run a mouse with the left hand, there's a little click. You want to show absolute time. So you want to get a little clock. You don't want the musical note, you want the clock. So before you start your 20-minute radio show, make sure that you select that clock. Okay? That way you will know when you have reached your 20-minute mark for your radio show. So you can see that what I've recorded here is what I just set into the microphone. Recording, and I play that back. Microphone up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so there's the playback, and you will have your whole entire radio show with that. So this is the recorder. Just like the other 2 rooms, you're used to doing it. Shouldn't be anything new. So the only thing that you want to really pay attention to is that clock down there. That's going to show you your absolute time, which is how long that your radio show is going to be. Your first radio show is going to be 20 minutes. You don't stop recording until you hit that 20-minute mark. Okay? Questions? See me on that one. Next computer over. This is your internet computer. You can get news, You can get sports. You can even play music off of this one. Okay, so what I've done here is I've gone into Care 11, went to their website. You can go to over here where it says it's 22 degrees. You can click on that. The 7-day forecast shows up. So when you are maybe getting into a song, you're ramping, you're talking over the beginning of a song, you could go into the forecast. Tonight it's going to be 28, or right now it's going to be 28 on Tuesday. Wednesday it's going to be a high of 31 degrees. It's going to be the nicest day of the week. You could even mention that to your radio audience. And then Thursday it's going to be cold and breezy. I probably wouldn't go into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday because people don't care. They want to know what it's like right now and probably what it's going to be like tomorrow. And that's all you really need to do. So don't kill them with weather. Don't kill me with weather because I'm the one that's grading you on your radio show. All right, so another thing that you can do is you could go to another tab here. Just fill up all these tabs. You can go to ESPN if you're into sports. If you're going to mention a lot of sports on your radio show, you can find out what's happening in the world of sports. You could go to, let's say, NBC.com, or you can go to Fox.com, NBC.com. Ellen's Game of Games. Ellen brings her zany games to prime time, along with a chance to win $100,000. So little things like that. There's little bits and pieces of news you can learn a lot from. You want to do some show prep. So you want to get a bunch of variety of topics to talk about on your show. Okay, they're not going to be handed to you. They're not going to be sent to you in the mail. You actually have to do that. So take it upon yourself to get some information. If you don't talk on your radio show, you're going to get points off. You're not going to get a good grade. Okay, so you have to talk on your radio show. You have to have 3 songs on your radio show, and you should talk about things that interest you. Okay, so as long as you're talking, you are going to get a grade. If you're just playing liners and playing music, don't expect a very high grade on this first show. To turn on your microphone, we'll go down to the soundboard here really quick. This one is pot number 1 or slider number 1, microphone 1. And looking at the other side, those microphones over there, that one's number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. But go back to the soundboard here. This one was microphone number 1. This is the main DJ, the main announcer microphone, which is this microphone right here. This one is microphone number 1. It says mic 1 on it. Okay, so you're going to want to find a comfortable spot for that. Somewhere that is going to give you a good level when you talk. If you're talking and it's going into the red like that, that's bad. You're going to have a distorted audio radio show, and you will have to do your whole entire show over if it's in the red. You will have to do your whole radio show over if it's in the red the whole entire time. So you really need to watch your levels here on this computer right here. So one thing that you can do to make your life a whole lot easier is if you raise your volume all the way up to the top, and then you go all the way to the top here where it says trim or gain, you can find a spot where when you turn it all the way to one side or another, okay, you can find that spot where where your level is going to be just perfect on your microphone. So set it all the way to the top, and then start talking in your microphone. Check 1 1 1 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. That's too loud. Okay, so if I turn that little knob down, this knob right here, if I turn that down, here's what it looks like on my recorder. I'm not getting any level. So as I speak, 1 2 3 4, I'm turning it up. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. There we go. 1 2. Perfect right there. So now every time that I play a song or go to a break or go to a commercial, when I mute my sound for my microphone 1, I don't have to guess every time where that slider should end up. I know that it has to go to the very, very top because I have fine-tuned it with my trim or my gain. Okay, because it's a good level right there. All right, so when you bring in another guest on mic 2 or mic 3 or mic 4 or mic 5, you also have to watch their level on this computer. So you could adjust their gain up here, but what you probably want to do is just preset it before you do like your 5-minute interview with your guest, your teacher, your coach, your friend, your aunt, your uncle, whoever. You're going to preset their level. So that's going to be microphone number 2. Okay, so you're going to say, hey, tell me about your day. And they're going to be sitting over there on the other side. They're going to talk into their microphone. They're going to be able to hear themselves on their headphones. Make sure that they wear their headphones because they're going to be able to hear you better. It's going to be a real life radio experience for them. So make sure that they wear your headphones and that you also wear your headphones as well. Okay. When you are doing your solo radio show, I want you to have this orange knob at 9 o'clock. This is a reverb knob, and I want your voice to sound full and rich and kind of has that filter on it. So let's plan on doing that. So have that first knob right there, have that at 9 o'clock, that orange one. All right, everybody sees that. All right, let's talk about the speakers. There are a couple speakers down here below, okay? These speakers are wired into this receiver, all right? The receiver also has a little sticker here that says speaker 1. And when this button is pushed out, the speakers are, let me see, check. When the button is pushed in, the speakers are on in the studio. Okay, you can hear the music, you can hear the commercials, whatever you're doing. So when the speaker button is pushed in, you can hear everything. When it's pushed out, that's when you're going to talk, because you don't want to have the speakers on when you're talking on the microphone. Okay, otherwise you're probably going to get feedback, and that's not going to be good. Okay, let's move over to, let's play some music on here so that you know how to do it. So I'll bring up this mouse here. It says Microsoft. That is running this PC right here, the HP L2065, this computer right here. So when we take this mouse, we're going to go up here to, we're going to go to Hall of Fame. So I'm going to click on that tab. Click on that. So sometimes there will be an ad that will play, so you kind of have to be careful of that. If an ad starts playing, you're going to have to anticipate that for when you're on a live radio show. When you try to play a song, if you have an ad, you're going to have to waste some time before that song kicks in. All right, so the song is playing, the music video is playing. We're going to go down here to the soundboard, and we're going to go to input 6, which is the internet. So we're going to turn that up. You can see that there's levels going.
Oh, didn't you forget something?
At the beginning of this music video, there's a little story and stuff. You probably don't want to air that. That's why I'm suggesting everybody pre-records their music and puts it into either this computer or that computer. So here's our song. We'll turn on our speaker. So to get the sound out here with the speakers are on. I have the speaker on input 1 was in, now it's out. Push it in, now we have speakers out here. If we talk on the microphone, most likely we're going to get feedback. So let me mute that. So you could do your whole entire radio show if you listen to the sound. The sound is coming out of the headphones. The sound is coming out of the headphones, so you could do your whole entire radio show without bothering to turn on the speakers down there. You don't have to. It's just another button to remember. Oh, before I talk, I have to make sure that I turn my speakers off. Okay, so that's kind of up to you what you want to do. Let's move on to the next thing. Ramp time. So we'll use this song as an example. We're going to go back to the beginning of this song. We're going to skip over the story part here.
Don't forget the trash.
Okay, so the song starts at 31. And when you can preload your music into here. You can record it and then put your music over here, onto this computer or this computer. So that little story that happens at the beginning of your song, that could be edited out. So when you hit play, the song is actually it starts right away, and you don't have to worry about the actors and the talking and all that stuff. So strongly encourage that. It helps you be a little bit more organized, and you want to be organized because this is a challenging project for all of you. Ramp time. So we've got an instrumental here. We're at 40 seconds right now. So at 53, the singer starts to sing. You want to be completely done talking about whatever it is that you're talking. You want to be done by 52 seconds. If you start talking and you go into their singing, you don't want to do that. That's not good radio. It's not good radio announcing. So you want to avoid doing that. So that's called hitting the post. And when you hit the post, you stop talking, the singer starts singing. I probably would not do a ramp talk over from 30 to 53 all the way. Okay? You don't have to hit that post every single time. Sometimes it's really annoying. If you do it all the time for all of your songs, it gets really annoying. So do it on one, and when you stop talking, they should start singing. Okay? So try your luck at that, see how you do. Another common mistake that students will do when they're doing their radio show, try to keep the camera here, is they let the song go to dead air. And you don't want to do that. Before the song is done, that's when you want to start talking. So let's listen to the very end of this song, and I'll tell you when you should really start talking, or if you should play a liner or whatever. Right there, standing in the Hall of Fame, right when he sings that, you are on. Don't let it go all the way to nothing. That's what a lot of students will do. They'll let like 10 seconds of dead air be there, and then they'll go, and then they'll turn up their mic, and then they'll talk into the microphone. That's not what you want to do. Okay? What you want to do is when that song I'll play that thing part again. Right there, bring up your microphone. The Script Hall of Fame here on 192.1 The Roar. It is 21 degrees here in Farmington. Okay, so then you would go into your talking. Okay, so let that, and then while that song is starting to fade out, you can go to your sound wherever that song is playing, whether it's on the internet or if it's White Apple Sound. I have labeled this computer now. It's called Input 7 White Apple Computer. Okay, because it's a white computer. And here it looks orange because it's not white balance. And then we've got iMac Sound, which is iMac Sound Input 9 and 10. Input 9 and 10, which is right there. So yeah, so if you can't find those on the soundboard, turn on your glasses or put on your glasses. Input 9, 10, find 9, 10. It's kind of a matching game, 9, 10, IMAX sound, IMAX sound. I tried to make it dummy proof. So input 7, come down here to input 7. This is right there. So now we're going to talk about these two computers right here. We've got this mouse right here. And we've got the internet up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load all of your PSAs and all of your radio commercials, everything. Take that off. All of your on-air PSAs are in a folder. So we can play one of these. Let me hit Control, and we'll hit Get Info, and then that will be called up right there. So here is Riley's PSA. You can make an iTunes playlist right here. That's Google, sorry. You can make an iTunes playlist in here. You can add music. You can do a whole bunch of different things. So what you can do is you can hit play on here, come down here, come down to IMAX sound. We'll turn that up, IMAX sound. When you hit play on that, it should go.
When you light up, there's no going back. Cigarette smoke.
So there's Riley's PSA that's playing. And what you could do is, if you wanted to play a couple PSAs and a commercial, you could just line all of those up on your desktop and play them that way. Or if you want to, you can make a playlist in here. I'm going to have this computer and this computer has the same projects on it. So it's going to be basically the same projects on both computers, just depending on which one that you want to play it off of. It's completely up to you. Let's see. Another thing that you can do also is you can set your ramp time. If we had a song in here, like let's say this news background music was a song, you'd want to notate somewhere on here how much ramp time that you have on that. Okay. Also, this computer here will go to the internet. So if you did want to have two screens, if we go to Google Chrome, let's say Olympics 2018. Let's say we want to have some Olympics news. If you're going to play your music off of this computer and you wanted to have some Olympic stuff on here, you could have your weather forecast over here, could have a couple songs queued up on here, and then have a couple news things over here. It's totally up to you, however you want to do it. Okay, you can play your music off of that. And here again, when you are playing commercials or PSAs or whatever, let me hit play on Riley's thing again here. Turn up IMAX sound. You always want to be monitoring your sound levels on the recording computer.
When you light up, there's no going back. Cigarette smoking is responsible for more than 480,000 deaths per year.
So just because you get into a commercial break doesn't mean that you stop monitoring your levels, okay? So you still want to be watching your levels here, keeping them in the right spot. When you bring in your microphone and you start talking and you go to microphone number 1, you want to monitor your audio level here. When you hit play on this computer here right in front of you, your internet, you're going to find the internet right here, which is input 6 for internet. Turn that up. That's how you're going to bring up the internet sound if you're going to play anything. And then IMAX sound, which is right here on 9 and 10. When you bring up IMAX sound, you want to make sure that you have something queued up on here, whether it's a song. One really cool thing that I found today is, let me see if I can find it. To move up and down on this, you take your mouse and then you go to the side here. If you've ever ran a Mac, you want to grab this gray bar with your mouse. You pull this down. And I was trying to find, let's see, Justin Timberlake. Where where did it go? Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is like new music that's scrolling across here. So one thing that I found just today, kind of by accident, was just some pre-release songs from Justin Timberlake. There's Filthy, another one called Supplies, and number 9 is Say Something by Chris, featuring Chris Stapleton. So if you wanted to incorporate some of that stuff into your radio show, you could say something like Justin Timberlake has a new CD coming out. It's called Man of the Woods. It looks pretty interesting, and let's take a listen to some of his new music. And so then you could come up here to IMAX Sound and play some of his songs. Here again, you're monitoring your levels here. So this is actually coming from iTunes Radio. So you could talk about that. It's like, oh, that sounds like a good one. And then Justin Timberlake also has another song called Filthy that he's releasing soon. I wonder if he'll do this at the Super Bowl when he performs at halftime. So you could play the song Filthy if you wanted. Doesn't sound like a good title of a song, but anyway, you could talk over it and say, well, let's take a listen to that. And then you'd bring the music down a little bit on there. Don't bring it all the way out. And then you could bring your microphone up and you could talk in your microphone and say, Justin Timberlake's doing some new music. That's a look at some of his new music that he's got coming out. You still have his song playing, and you could even like go into like a weather forecast. You know, as we look at the weather today, you could start to slowly fade out Justin out of there, looking at the weather today, and you could go into your weather forecast, and then on this computer you could have your next song queued up, or you could play a liner off of here. Let's talk about those next. Your personal liners will be done soon, before your shows. So we're going to go to the White Apple sound. White Apple, White Apple, White Apple. So you match the two together. 7. So these right here, 2018, 192.1 station. These are liners. Okay, so let's take a look here. Sports is next. Play into a break. Playing the music you want to hear. News is next. Play into a break. Broadcasting live in Farmington. 192.1 The Roar. Your weather is next. Play into a break. So before you would play a PSA or a commercial or whatever, you could come in here and you could play one of these, news is next, or sports is next, or your weather is next. If you know for a fact that you're going to talk about the weather, you should probably play this one, okay? So here's what that one sounds like.
You're listening to Farmington High School Radio. Your weather forecast is coming up next.
And then from that point, right when that gets done playing, you would want to have IMAX sound already up. So let me orchestrate this for you a little bit. This is Riley's PSA. Sorry, Riley, we're going to play it again. So let's do weather is next. Double click.
You're listening to Farmington High School Radio. Your weather forecast is coming up next.
And so now we're into our break. So that liner just got us into our break. Now we're playing some PSAs. Now we're playing some commercials. And then when we come back from our commercial break, then we'll go into our weather, which is already up on the screen. We're already recording. But you should have where are you playing your next song from? Is it coming on the internet one? Is it coming from here? Or is it coming from here? So a lot of students, what they'll do is they will make playlists. Okay? So I would strongly encourage you to do that, or have these little boxes here on the screen. Have them lined up. Okay? Okay, so what you could do is open up another one. Here, let me set the camera down here for a second. Control. Get info. And let's do one more. Zach Dan. Control. Get info. Okay, so what I've done here is I've opened up 3 projects. So if I'm going to do a commercial break of 3 PSAs or whatever, I want to have those already loaded across here. Okay. If one of these were a song, when we come back from the liner and our break, we want to have a song ready to go while we read our weather forecast. Okay, so it's a lot of planning. You have to have your list of things that you're going to do laid out, where it's going to be played from, and try to be organized. Get your stuff done. Get your songs recorded, and things will be good. Let me go back to station liners. We've got crank it up and rip the knob off. Turn that up. Here, hold on.
The knob off. You're listening to Crank It Up and Rip the Knob Off. You're listening to 192.1 The Roar.
Playing the most music.
Playing the most music. You're listening to 192.1 The Roar.
You're in tiger territory. Also, another thing too, I think I mentioned this when I brought you guys in here, was these little buttons, these little check marks are not pushed. If they are pushed, what will happen is each one of these will fire automatically, and one after another. So that's why they're not checked. Weather is next. News is next. So what you could do, if you wanted to get a break, all of your news stuff will be loaded onto the IMAX sound, the input 910. You could play this liner, news is next.
You're listening to Farmington High School Radio. The news is coming up next.
And then from that point, you hit play on your news that you just turned in. Some of you still need to turn them in, but you could play your newscast, and that will give you 2 more minutes of your radio show. Okay, your sports. When you guys are doing your sports report, sports is coming up next. Here's another one.
You're listening to Farmington High School Radio. Sports is coming up next.
Okay, so I tried to make these liners so that they would help you out. And so hopefully you use that sports one. If you have your sports report done, all of you should have your sports report done before you do your radio show. It's your sports news, your 2-minute sports news. So try to get that done. Most of you guys will have your news one done, and get your 3 songs done. I'm not sure what else I can tell you. It's you just got to get in here. You got to learn the soundboard, learn where your levels are peaking, where they need to go up. Talk directly into this microphone. Don't talk on the side of it like this. Talk directly in front of it. Okay. If you want to use newspaper and things like that, you can. But I think as far as staying with the current forecast, it's currently 24 degrees and it's sunny. You can say what it's like outside. The more current that you are with your news and your weather, the better your show is going to be. Try to avoid dead air and be organized to make a new playlist down here. You take this mouse right here, you go down here to this little plus sign, and it makes an untitled playlist, so you can say my playlist or Johnny's playlist, John playlist. Okay, John playlist, there we go. So now John can load all of his songs in here. There's a whole bunch of songs in here. Lots and lots of songs. Shania Twain, if you like country, Steve Winwood, Higher Love, this is a good song. There's a whole bunch of different songs that you guys can play off of here. If you don't want to take the time to record your own songs, you're more than welcome to play any of these things. So that's about it. If you have questions, please see me. If there's something on this tape that doesn't make sense, come and see me, come and find me, ask me, or send me an email, and good luck.